Hey friends, in today's video we are talking about new makeup releases. I'm doing a full face of new-ish makeup launches. So most of these products I enjoyed. There are a few products in here that I would steer away from, maybe not recommend. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so I did already prep my skin this morning. I have on the Iris&ROMEO Weekend Skin Tint. It's a tinted SPF. Really beautiful. It gives the skin a little bit of a glow. It does even out skin tone. Very light coverage, but you can see through it. Not a whole lot of coverage, but that is what I currently have on my skin. I do want to mention this moisturizer before I get started in the foundation application because I've really been enjoying this product. This is from St. Jane Beauty, and this is their Rich Rescue Phyto Mucin Cream. This is a brand new launch, a brand new product. I think it launched like within the last 2 weeks. It has niacinamide in it, hyaluronic acid, and phytomucin. It is a plant-based mucin cream. This plumps the skin. It really hydrates. It has a pretty thick texture, but it doesn't feel heavy when you apply it on the skin. So I'm going to show you kind of the texture of it. So you can see that it's, you know, a weighted thick texture. It's not sliding down my fingertip. But what I love about this cream, it's very unique and very different than most moisturizers. I really think it's a very unique formula. But do you see how it has that kind of like that pull? It's got like this grip to it too, so it's a really great primer for moisture. You know what, I'm just gonna put it on because now I have it on my fingers. Hopefully this will not mess up my makeup since I already have a tinted SPF on, but we're gonna apply this. It just like feels so rich on the skin and it feels smoothing. It's a really exceptional moisturizer. I really have been enjoying this product. It was sent to me, it was gifted to me by the founder of St. Jane Beauty. I actually met her when I did the GMA segment back in March, but this is one that I will repurchase. You guys, I get sent a ton of products, as you can imagine. And it's interesting because I think the one category of products that I receive the most of is skincare. So I've always got like brand new moisturizers and serums and products laying around. It's a product category that I don't really have to go out and purchase because I have products available to use, but this is one that I will repurchase. When I'm out of this, I will go and buy this. It is so good. Really been enjoying this. So I highly recommend this. If you have tried this already, drop a comment and let us know your thoughts on it. If you end up picking this up, I would love for you to come back and let me know because I think it is a very special product and I'm excited for you guys to try it. Okay, so we just applied that on. I didn't need to do that, but we did. That's okay. The skin is definitely glowing now. I've got a lot of skincare on my face. Okay, so let's go in with foundation, and I'm pretty sure you guys can probably guess the foundation that we'll be using today. This is a brand new launch. This is from Jane Iredale. This is the Skintuition SPF 30. I always look like I've said this name so many times, but it's a long one, so I'm always looking to make sure I say it in the proper order. Skintuition SPF 30 Radiance-Boosting Liquid Foundation. So this launched this month. I really love this foundation. It's difficult for me to say which I'm going to be using more, this or the powder foundation. I think I'll still be using the powder foundation more just because it's so easy. The powder foundation is so quick and so easy to apply, and I love the results and the way my skin looks. This does have an SPF of 30, so you get a little bit additional SPF coverage from this than the powder. You can wear them together. I actually learned that when I went to an event that Jane Iredale hosted in LA last week. I wouldn't think that you would feel the need to though, because this gives really great coverage. You're going to get a good solid medium coverage from this. But if you have both products, you can certainly dust a little bit out of the Pure Press base on top of it. I would just be careful not to apply too much because it's essentially kind of like putting a foundation on top of another foundation. But what I love about this is I love how lightweight it is. It's very lightweight, but it gives great coverage. It blurs texture, smooths out the skin, and it does give the skin a bit of a glow. Today, I feel like that glow is going to be really strong just because I had that Iris&ROMEO glowy tinted SPF on, and then I just applied more moisturizer. But if you apply just your normal moisturizer and maybe not so glowy of an SPF, you'll still get radiance, but it won't be as radiant as you're seeing here now. So I am going to be powdering this down to mattify it because this is a bit more glow than I want. But again, it's just because I prepped my skin a bit heavier than I normally would. I love this foundation. And by the way, I'm the shade 36 Light Medium in this. They have a very wide range of shades, so you will be able to find your shade. And what I love, I've heard this from several people that follow my content or watch my channel, is that the Jane Iredale team is so helpful. So if you guys actually have questions or want help being shade matched, you can actually call them. They have like a customer service number. You can call them and speak to their customer service team and get help getting shade matched. If you do that, by the way, please tell them that you watch my videos. I always love when you guys share, when I refer you guys to brands or products. It's always nice to, you know, just for the brand to kind of see the support. So please mention. Okay. Ooh, I love this. So pretty. So pretty. I think this is great for all skin types. If you have dry skin, it's gonna give you that radiance. So you're gonna have a glow. If you are more oily, you know, it does have a radiance. So if you prefer more of a matte foundation, you might wanna stick with the Pure Pressed base, but it's so long wearing that even though it has a glow, it's not gonna look greasy and it's not gonna look like shiny, and it's gonna wear beautifully all day. So I think, again, even if you have oily skin, you'll find that this foundation just wears really nice all day. There's no surprises. Like, the way it looks when you first apply it is how it's gonna look in 6 hours, 7 hours. Now I have actually I have kind of 3 concealing products to share, but I'm going to apply the one that I have talked least about. I do wanna mention the Sarah Creal concealer. This is a new concealer that I purchased over the last month, and you guys know I love this concealer. I would dare to say this is probably the best concealer I've ever tried. I mean, it is that good. It is very expensive though. It's $58 if I recall, so very, very pricey, but it's so good, you guys. What I love about it is how lightweight it is. It's got this serum technology. Is it actually a serum concealer, or am I just making that up? It feels like a serum concealer is how it feels. It feels very lightweight, super blendable. It's described as being a concealer for under eyes and for the face, and I would agree with that, and I'll tell you why. So if a concealer is claiming to be good for the face, to me, it can't be super heavy or like thick, because concealer by nature is going to be a heavier, more pigmented product. It's going to be even more pigmented and more coverage than a foundation, right? And if it's claiming to be good for the face, that means it needs to be lightweight, and this one is. It's so beautiful, but I'm not gonna apply this today because I feel like you guys have heard and seen this product demoed a lot lately. I do wanna talk about the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. This is a new launch as well. In fact, I picked this up because on one of my YouTube lives, it was requested that I review this, and I will be honest, and I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but I didn't even know that Estee Lauder had launched this, and it is really, really nice. It also is lightweight, very long wearing, great coverage. It doesn't look heavy. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I love it too. So I think this is a really great option as well. The consistency feels a little thicker than the Sarah Creal, but doesn't feel heavy when you blend it out. I love the applicator too. It's this doe foot, but it's got this kind of like almost more of a flat shape that just makes it really easy to apply and spread product without adding more product underneath the eye. So I'm actually going to use that applicator to kind of spread this out, but I'm not really adding a lot of product, if that makes sense, because it doesn't hold on to. I feel like the applicator holds on to just the amount of product that you need. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty 114, and I'm gonna use the lighter side fibers to blend this out. And I'm first just gonna kind of pat, 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 give like a little pre-blend. Pat, pat, pat. Then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna dry clean my brush. I'm just gonna run it on a paper towel to remove any excess concealer. We're gonna go do the other side, and then we're gonna come back and finish out the blend. But the reason I'm doing this little kind of pre-blend is to move the product and get the coverage in the area that I want it, but I also want to give it a few seconds to slightly dry down to give the most coverage. Okay, then I'm going to come back and finish this blend out. Okay, perfect. And I'm just going to run whatever's left over onto the eyelid, remove any excess off my brush. Then I'm going to look up and kind of stretch the skin, and I'm going to just kind of pull up any excess that might be landing in the small fine lines underneath my eye, creases, little crevices. I don't care which concealer you're wearing. If you have too much product underneath the eye, it will settle in those lines. Okay, perfect. So now that I have the right amount of concealer on the eyes, there we go. I'm gonna go and set everything. And let's talk about 2 recently launched powders. I have a loose powder from YSL. This is the All Hours Hyper Blur powder, and this is the new Givenchy Pressed Prisma Libra powder. So we're gonna apply both of these and let's talk about them. I've had this for a little while. I bought this a little while ago. It's supposed to be a blurring powder. We're gonna use one on one side of the face, one on the other, just to kind of refresh my feelings about this and my thoughts and talk through them. Hopefully you guys will be able to see some difference. So I picked up the shade 2 in this, which is kind of like a goldeny yellow shade. I actually wish I would have picked up the translucent, the lightest shade, because I do feel like this is a little darker than I would like for underneath the eyes. I feel for it being the middle shade, it's a little darker. So I'm gonna pick it up with the 114 brush on one side, and I'm gonna go just kind of blot it in my hand. We're gonna go and let's do this side of the face. So I'm just gonna go and press this underneath the eye to set that concealer. I'm also gonna press and set right here in the center of the face and the nose a little bit to kind of cut down that shine. Do you see what that is? I mean, that instantly, look, so this shade, this side has not been powdered. This side has. I mean, it really does blur and mattify the skin quickly. It's a soft matte finish too, so it kind of looks like this like soft velvety finish. I wish it were a little lighter, to be honest. It's a little darker than I like to put underneath my eyes. I like a powder that's going to slightly brighten underneath the eye area, and this one does not. Maybe if I had gotten a lighter shade, I would have those results, but we didn't do that. So now let's go in with Givenchy Prisma Libra Pressed Powder. Now I've already shared my thoughts on this. I like this powder and I keep it in my purse for touch-ups. I like that it has a brush inside of here. So when you open it up, you have a little brush inside. I haven't even taken off the plastic on mine, but you have a little brush inside and then you have your powder here. And I will say this brush, I don't love the shape of it. I wish it were more rounded, but what are you gonna do when you're trying to put it in a flat compact? But it is soft. So I think this is a good applicator when you have it in your purse for touch-ups. I use BK Beauty brushes when I'm applying my makeup in the morning, but I'll have this in my bag and I'll just use this brush for touch-up. So I do like that. Now I've grabbed 2 shades of this, but we're using the shade 02 Satin Blanc. I will say I like this powder, but I don't think it's a replica of the loose one. The loose one was definitely more fine and it didn't give as matte of a finish as I feel this one does. I feel this one is definitely a little heavier and it gives much more of a flatter matte finish than the loose did. So I don't think that they really compare. I don't find a lot of similarities in the finish of the loose and this one, but I do like this powder. I do like this powder. And I do like the Satin Blanc is lighter, so I'm getting a little bit more brightness. I don't know if you guys can compare the two sides. So this is where I have the Givenchy and this is where I have the YSL. Do you see how this side is brighter than the other? Hopefully it's picking up on camera. Let's go and just mattify the forehead a bit. And you know, I'm actually gonna switch to a lighter brush. Let's use the 112. I'm gonna use this light, airy brush to set the forehead and the chin. And the reason I'm switching brushes here is because I want to just lightly set this area. I don't want to pack on too much powder. Since I'm not using a cream bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and set the whole face with a bit of powder. But I'm going to use the 104 brush, like a big fluffy brush. And we're just going to lightly set, not to powder too much. But that way the bronzer that I apply doesn't just stick to the wet foundation. Okay, so now let's go ahead and warm up the face. And I'm very excited to share this new product with you because I love this product. And I actually don't think I've shared it too much here on my channel yet. This was a recommendation by Nikki. Nikki sold me on this powder bronzer. This is the Dior Forever Nude Bronzer. It's the large jumbo size. And I got the shade 10 Soft Matte, which is the lightest shade. It has a scent to it. It's very fragranced. So if that bothers you, then this one's pretty strong. It does not bother me. I think it smells really good. But this is what it looks like. It's very large. It's this really beautiful, buttery, soft powder formula. It is so nice, so consistent. Absolutely beautiful. I'm actually going to use the 104 brush to apply it. I'm going to use the tip of the brush. So we're going to load it up. I also picked up the next shade and it's a little darker and a little warmer for me. When I looked at it at Sephora's stand, I thought, oh, that'll work for me. It's not too dark. And it's really not. I could make it work, but I definitely prefer this one. This one is definitely a better shade for me. It's just a really beautiful, warm, soft bronzer. And of course, depending on the brush you use will depend on the type of application. I want a little bit of a lighter application and the opportunity to build up to what I want. Like now we're talking, right? Now we're getting more color. But the 104 is designed to be a lighter application. So it's not designed to pick up a ton of product and lay down a ton of product unless you really work and build it in like I have. But that first application you could see was very light and sheer. So it's great for all your loose powders or whenever you want to apply powder in a very light manner. Now, if I wanted to create more impact quickly, I would use something like the BK Beauty 107. So this brush is a little bit more dense, but I wouldn't call this a super dense brush. But when you compare it to the 104, you can definitely see it's more dense. So this is going to definitely pick up more than the 104 is. So let's take a look at how this brush applies the product. And this is typically what I use for my bronzer. Yeah, do you see? I mean, already you can see more than you could with that first application. This is the brush that I usually use for my bronzer. And I'm gonna sweep it into the hairline. What I like about this bronzer is just how soft it is. And it's really blendable. So you can really create this like overall sun-kissed look to the skin. If you apply it and you feel like maybe you applied a little too much in that area, you can just work your brush over it and it'll just softly spread. And not all products can do that. Some products, once you apply them on a foundation, they kind of stick and they're there and they're more difficult to blend out. This one is not. It's really blendable and really beautiful. And I love the tone of it. It's just this really beautiful warmth. It is definitely on the warmer, more orangey side, but it works, you know, it just looks so good. Perfect. Oh, so good. I'm gonna sweep a little bit on the nose. Yes, I really love this product. It's so good. So this is a hit for me. Okay, let's talk about a new blush launch that I have been loving, and I have expressed this already, but we're gonna talk about it again today. The new Rare Beauty. These are the matte bouncy blushes. This is the shade Happy. I love this formula. If you were both cream and powder bronzers, this is the best of both of them. This goes on like in a cream texture, but when it dries down, it kind of dries to like this powder finish. So it's really easy to work with. It's very beautiful. I love these. I don't know what else to say about them. I really, really like them. I'm going to use the 112 brush to pick this up and kind of work the brush into it. They're also very easy to use, very user-friendly. Unlike, I feel like their liquid blushes are a bit more, they're easy to mess up. They're very pigmented. So with those liquid blushes, if you apply too much, and when I say too much, it's very easy to apply too much because you could apply what you might apply in another liquid blush and it's way too much. So these are not that way. These are very easy to work with. I also love how just blurred the application looks. It's this really soft kind of blurred effect on the skin. These are pretty much impossible to mess up, honestly, you guys. They're very impossible to mess up. And they're buildable, so you can get a nice kind of sheer wash of color. You can go in and build if you want more. I do wish that they had a more extensive shade range. I would love to see a little bit more of a light, cool pink in this collection. I'm sure we will, but I feel like the shades that they launched with were a little limiting, in my opinion. That's all our own kind of personal preference, right? Oh, so good, so good, so good. I'm gonna take Nikki's N17 brush, and I'm gonna go back in with my Prisma Libra powder, and I'm just gonna kind of run around the edges of the bronzer and the blush just to soften those edges out. All right, you guys, let's move on to a brow gel. Now, I'm pretty certain this is not a new brow gel launch, but I just discovered this and I really love it. This is the Jones Road Brow Gel, and I have the shade Ash Blonde. I love this product. I do wish the applicator was a little smaller. It can run to be a little messy, but what I do is I just take it and I swipe off the excess and then I go from there. What I love about this gel is it gives such great volume to the brows. It really builds up a brow. If you are someone that has very sparse brows, this is such a great volume builder. I really, really love this. So I already have my brows done, but I'm just going in, I'm just going in to add a little. Now I will say this, see, and this is a prime example of what I wish weren't the case with this, but it can be very messy. Like I just applied a little too much. So I'm really going off to scrape off this wand to kind of pick off some of that, because the wand holds onto a lot of product, you guys. It really holds onto a lot of product. So it's very easy to get messy and to over apply it like I did on this brow. And if you do that, scrape off the excess, but in this case, I am gonna have to grab a clean spoolie. Look at this, I have a little canister of spoolies. You might not though. If you don't, just take your brow pencil. Almost all brow pencils has one of this on the other end, and use that to clean up. That's the only con, is I feel like the applicator is really easy to go too heavy or make a mistake, but I love the formula of it. Okay, so I have a few lip products to share. Oh, you know what? You guys, I goofed. Oh, I pulled these out because I really wanted to try them on camera with you for the first time. Bobbi Brown launched these Pot Rouge Velvet Matte for lips and cheeks. I have two shades. I have the shade Peony and then I have the shade Tea Rose here. Obviously, I've already applied blush, but I still want to play with these and I kind of give you my initial first impression thoughts. Obviously, I don't have an opinion on these quite yet, but I was very excited. I did play with the texture and they're very unique and they feel fun. We're going to go and try the shade Tea Rose. Let's go ahead and apply it on our lips first. So this is what the product looks like. I did put my finger in there to touch it and you can kind of see it's like this moussey texture. It's very pillowy, very soft. Okay, so I'm going to swatch this on my hand and look at this. It's this really soft blur. Look at that. That looks so good. Now the texture is thicker. It is thicker, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that when it's on the cheeks, but let's try it. Let's try it on the lips first. All right, so on the lips, it's giving a very pillowy, velvety, matte finish. It's kind of smoothing out lines and texture on the lips. Not a whole lot of color. Look at that. That's nice. It's nice if you like a sheer, kind of pillowy look to the lips, but I definitely like more of a lip. So I don't think this is a product that I will necessarily be like putting on my lips and walking out like this, although I'm looking at the camera, I think it looks really good. Undecided, because I think it is pretty. When I'm looking on camera, I think it looks really pretty. But in the mirror, it just kind of looks very simple, very basic, very minimal. which is not a bad thing. Okay, let's move on and try it for the cheeks. I think I'm just gonna use my finger for this, you guys. This texture is kind of pillowy and weighty, and I don't know that a brush is gonna pick it up the way that I want to try it out. So we're just gonna apply it on the cheeks. Okay, now I already had blush on, keep that in mind, but I do feel like I can still give you a pretty good little mini review on this. Okay, I like it. I like it. It's really easy to apply with your fingers, like very easy. It just kind of disperses and diffuses out into the skin. I think it has good color. Like I can see, I mean, it's very similar to the color that I had on from the Rare Beauty, but I definitely can see the amount of pigment. And I would say it's light to medium. It seems like it's pretty buildable. And it just has this really pretty, like pillowy, soft focused look. Okay, interesting. I think I like these. I'm excited to use these again without makeup already on. And I do think, let me try with the brush just to see, but I have a feeling that the finger is going to be the best way to apply this. Let's try. Actually, okay, so let's see if we can try here. Actually, the brush is nice too. This is the 112. Ooh, okay. I stand corrected, you guys. Look at that. Look at how pretty and sheer that is. Okay, I stand corrected. The 112 is what I'm doing next time. The 112 with this product is what I'm doing next. That's really pretty. Look at that. Just very soft, sheer, easy to work with. You can use your fingers or a brush. I like that. Ooh, very light, very sheer, very beginner friendly. I like that. Okay, I'm excited about these. Okay, I'm gonna pop some eye makeup on really quickly. I'm not using anything new here. I didn't really have any new makeup in the eye category to share, but I'm just applying a little bit of concealer on my eye as a primer, and then we're gonna be using the Makeup by Mario's. This is the Neutrals. Okay, I'm gonna just start by sweeping this shade kind of all over the lid and into the crease. I really love this palette. It's unique. I feel like most of the palettes that we see are very, very warm. And this one leans cooler without being like really cool, you know? And there is some warmth in some of these shades. Okay, now I'm just popping this shade right here, a little bit darker, right in the outer corner. Then I'm gonna take the A504, it's a tiny little crease brush, and I'm gonna grab this shade right here. It's the second to the lightest. And we're just gonna kind of sweep this right in the inner corner, just to softly kind of brighten up the inner corner of the eye. And then also same shade, we're gonna sweep it underneath the brow. Perfect, okay. And then I'm taking the N12 and I'm just running it in this brown shade right here, and I'm just popping it onto the upper lash line. And I'm actually taking it from the outer corner all the way to the inner corner, which you guys don't usually see me do. Usually I keep it on the outer half, but today we're going a little further in. I'm gonna take the same brush and we're gonna go into this shade right here. We're gonna pop this one on the lower lash line, just to give a little bit more definition there. And this I am keeping just to the outer half. I'm not taking this all the way over. I love this, just a clean, simple, sophisticated neutral eye. All matte, nothing fancy, but it just is so flattering, you know? I love that. Okay, next we're gonna talk about mascara, and I'm gonna be using the new Makeup by Mario mascara. I'm not a huge fan of this, you guys. I'm really not, but I'm gonna apply it. I'm gonna share it with you. The complaints that I have about this mascara is I find it very messy. Let's apply it. It's actually been a few weeks since I used it, but I remember when I first bought it, I wasn't that blown away with it, and every time I applied it I seemed to make a mistake or have mascara on the lid, or just wasn't a huge fan of it. I saw an Instagram reel on the Makeup by Mario page promoting this mascara, and this girl applied it. She didn't talk or anything, she just applied the mascara and it looked incredible. I was so excited, and that might be why. Maybe my expectations were out of alignment, but I expected it to give me lashes like I saw in that video. Which is kind of foolish because you could tell the girl had really long natural lashes anyway. But yeah, this mascara is just okay. Okay, and as I'm applying it now, I'm actually not making a mess. It's okay, it's not bad. It's not bad, it's just not one that I was a little disappointed, I guess. And again, maybe it's because my expectations were so high, but I just didn't find it to be that exceptional. Okay, this might actually be the best time I've ever applied this mascara, I think, is today. This is better than I remember. But I'm still sticking to my original thoughts because I remember trying this several times when I first bought it and I wasn't blown away. So we're gonna stick with that. We're gonna finish this tube out, but I'm not gonna repurchase this product. How's that? Is that a fair review? Let's move on to lips. Now, you guys, I have a few lip products to share. So Sarah Creal, The Adults Are Talking, I guess is the name of the product. It's like a lip balm lipstick. This is the shade Energetic. I really like this product. Let me apply it and I'll show you. So I love how this feels. It just feels like the most nourishing, balmy lipstick. It feels so good. As far as like performance, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing special. It's a sheer lipstick that's super hydrating. It feels incredible. I forget what I paid for this, but overall I think Sarah Creal is kind of more on the luxury price point. Let me look it up. Let me look it up because that's really going to influence kind of my thoughts on the product. Okay, so it's actually the Solid Serum Lip Repair Balm. So it's described as a balm. It was $42. Yeah, $42. So pretty, you know, pricey for a lip balm. It is very nice, you guys. It feels incredible. It feels good. But if you're expecting a lip product that's going to wow you in terms of the way that it looks or pigment, this is not it. I really enjoy it. I keep it in my purse. I wear it every day, but I probably wouldn't repurchase it simply for that reason. But yeah, there's my thoughts on that. Okay, and then Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown has these little plump lip serums. This was recently sent to me in PR. I love the color and I love this formula of product. Let me remove what's on my lips now and apply it. I love these. They feel like a lip treatment and a gloss in one. I love the applicator of this. It's nice and bendy and flexy and soft. I just love this. I could apply these on my lips all day. They feel so good. The color is very sheer and minimal. It's very lightweight though and super shiny. It gives you like this glass-like shine with hardly any weight. It feels so, so good. Really beautiful. So I love, love this. It has this slight citrusy scent to it. So yeah, this is a winner in my book. I love the feel of this product. Okay, and then the last lip product that I want to share, this is a pretty new launch. This is the Iris&ROMEO Weakened Skin Moisture Lip Balm. So this is actually a lip balm, but it's almost like a lip gloss. It's what you might think it would be based on the packaging. These are really nice. Let me take off this product so I can show you. It's like a balm and an oil hybrid. It has pretty darn good color, honestly. So I don't have anything on my lips right now. Let's apply this. Ah, so good. I mean, look at that pigment. Really, really good. So it's described as a balm, but you would not guess it. You would not guess that this is a lip balm. When it's on the lips, it does feel more like a lip balm than a lip gloss. It doesn't feel like a gloss on the lips. So good. So that's what it looks like on the lips. No lip liner, no other lip product. It's so good. I mean, look at that pigment. Incredible. Really, really nice. It also has an SPF of 30 in this, so really good. Okay, so the makeup is done. There's one last product I want to share with you that I've been enjoying. This is from One Size. This is the Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. So this is supposed to give your skin like this glass-like look. If you use a lot of heavy powders, I think you would really love this product. If you want to kind of work against that really matte finish, this really does give the skin a like glass-like look. I'm just going to spray a little bit. It's very lightweight. The application is nice. It's a very fine, light mist. It disperses pretty wide and evenly. It doesn't like just shoot out. So I think they did a really great job with this product. So I've been enjoying this as well. Okay, you guys, that wraps up this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm gonna have all the products tagged in YouTube Shopping so you guys can shop them down below in YouTube Shopping. Thank you for watching this video. I would love to hear what new makeup releases you just recently picked up, what you're loving, what you're not loving. Let us know. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.